The AAA fuel gauge survey of 189 central Indiana stations indicates prices of all grades of gas average $1.09 a gallon. That's down a penny from last Christmas, and it's 2 cents lower since the Thanksgiving survey. The average price for unleaded self-serve gas is $1.12 per gallon, and 2/3 of the stations surveyed will be closed on Christmas Day.
Great Lakes Chemical is selling one of its subsidiaries.
That story when Lafayette Live continues. Plus, Dr. Bob Lanier gives us a quiz on hyperactivity.
So together for the holidays, that magic time of year, cookies baking in the oven, Jack Frost on the air, Christmas cards all trimmed with lace, the gala office ball, who can see you through the holidays, lighted the canoe mall, who else is so together, ooh.
Portions of Lafayette Live are sponsored by the Surplus Store and Exchange and by McCord Goodyear Tire Stores.
Great Lakes Chemical Corporation has signed a letter of intent to sell the assets of its Enzyme Technology Corporation subsidiary to a Finnish company. Great Lakes, headquartered in Lafayette, has a spokesman who says the sale to Finnish Sugar Company should be completed early next year after management at Great Lakes has studied the deal. State Senator Katie Wolf will be the ranking minority member on the Senate Agriculture and Small Business Committee in the next session of the General Assembly. The Monticello Democrat has also been appointed to the Senate Committee on Legislative Apportionment and Elections and the Senate Public Policy Committee. Wolf says the Agriculture and Small Business Committee will be looking at legislation creating an Indiana fund to provide loans and loan guarantees for strictly Hoosier small businesses. Wolf also says the committee will have to look at expanding assistance programs to help farmers diversify their income through promotion and marketing.
Well, for the first time ever, Japan is importing more than half of its food. An annual report of Japan's Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries Ministry says imported foods now account for slightly more than half the Japanese diet. Measured on a calorie basis, Japan's self-sufficiency fell to 49% in the last fiscal year. The report attributes the increased reliance on imports to a decline in the amount of rice in the Japanese diet. Meanwhile, the Japanese were eating more dairy products, meat, and other imported foods. A federal audit has reportedly found that accumulated losses by the Farmers' Home Administration now total at least $36 billion. FMHA was established as a leader of the last resort for struggling farmers. The New York Times quotes an official of the Government Accounting Office as saying that Congress will clearly have to deal with the problem next year.
Save now. It's Build-A-Thou's December discount days with Chevrolet's new cash rebate program with rebates up to $1,000. And we're clearing out all remaining 88 Spectrums at drastic discounts, plus a new Spectrum $600 cash rebate, too. Come out today. Check out the beautiful front-wheel drive economy car Spectrum, built for Chevrolet by Isuzu. Spectrum comes to you in 2-door hatchback coupe and 4-door notchback sedan. Spectrum, now with a $600 cash rebate. The December discount days are on now at DeFau in Lafayette.
The weather outside may be frightful, but at Smith's you will always find women's clothing and shoes, delightfully stylish and perfect for all your winter plans. Smith's has gorgeous glitzy sweaters by Ivy Diffusion, along with suede and leather skirts, slacks, and coats to make you envied at any gathering. If a cruise is in your winter plans, Smith's has exactly what you need for comfort and fashion in marvelous colors by Adrian Vittadini. Remember, shop Smith's to make this the best Christmas ever.
It's the eve of Christmas Eve, but it hardly looks it outside. What's
the
coming?
eve of Christmas Eve, and then there's Christmas Eve Day, and it really gets confusing, doesn't it? But
especially when you're outside and it looks like September.
Well, I'll tell you, tomorrow, Christmas Eve Day, is going to be just as ugly as yesterday. So today, if anyone isn't confused already out there, today is going to be, we're going to be right in the middle of some nice weather, or some bad weather.
Or something like that.
Boy, everyone is confused, but I'll tell you, it's going to be sunny today, some nice temperatures out there. The current temperature is 47 degrees. The relative humidity is dead even. The wind is from the southwest, rather breezy out there, 20 miles per hour. Our barometer is rising. We normally expect a high temperature of 37, a normal low of 22. The records for this date, 63 degrees back in 1941, and 8 years ago, it was 14 degrees below zero on this date. Temperatures around the area are fairly nice, very close to 50 degrees, 48 at Crawfordsville and 46 at Monticello. Well, if I were teaching a class, a weather class, I think I would use this as a textbook map of a low pressure area. You can see the comma-shaped cloud form here. The low pressure area right now is located over the western portions of the Great Lakes, and that's the system that rapidly moved through this morning and gave us all that rain last night. You can see this was the situation early this morning. That takes us all the way into the afternoon, and it's beginning to push out of the area. We are, however, keeping our eye on a developing system, rapidly developing, I should say, in the Central Plains right here. In fact, we're going to be expecting some rain for tomorrow. So I think tomorrow is going to be another ugly day. If you're heading up to the north, say Wisconsin, eastern portions of Iowa, certainly keep your eye out for weather up in that area. Already the National Weather Service has issued a winter storm watch for tomorrow for those areas in white you see here. And so if you're heading up in that area or you have friends heading down in that area, we'll keep you up to date on the situation up in the upper Great Lakes, because it's going to be a mixture of some rain and snow and certainly some slick driving up in those areas. Here's the situation for tomorrow. There's the low pressure area that rapidly develops. Somewhere under here is Indiana. We'll take away the clouds here. You can see a mess of rain all throughout the Ohio, the Tennessee valleys, and there's that snow up in Wisconsin. It's an interesting system because we've got the warm front pushing up into northern Indiana, northern Ohio, and right along this edge here, sometime tomorrow, that's where the mixture of wet stuff is going to be. Some snow, some rain in that area, and our temperature, we're going to be close to the warm front, so we're going to be fairly warm, obviously. Look for a high temperature tomorrow, up around 47 degrees. But it does get better. We'll go ahead and show you Christmas here. It looks like we're going to see a lot of sunshine on Christmas Day, a temperature in the upper 30s. And as we move on into the beginning of the week, Monday, we'll have some clouds, high of 36, and the same for Tuesday, with more rain developing once again. As far as the rest of today goes, it's going to be a nice one, a light breeze out there, and we'll have some afternoon shower, or actually I should say some evening showers developing. Some afternoon clouds will be developing as well, a high of 51. And then for tonight, we'll see some rain developing, especially after midnight, a low of only 41 degrees. Then for tomorrow, another ugly day, rainy and windy, but maybe some clearing way after midnight. And that will give us a nice day for Christmas. But until that time, Christmas Eve does not look good.
Okay, well, as long as it's nice for Christmas, that's all that matters. Thanks a lot, Steve.
Cheerful sorting.
Yeah.
Well, Lafayette Live continues. Some predictions on what's in store for Congress in the new year.
I didn't want just another job.
I wanted to do something worthwhile.
I'm a professional.
And I'm part of a professional team.
There's leadership in technology at this hospital.
And there's a feeling of family here. People really care.
Mercy, caring for people, and proving it.
Are you short of cash for gifts? Hi, I'm Deborah for Mr. Steve's. Want to be proud of the gifts you're giving? You can come into Mr. Steve's today and show off your great gift tonight. There's never a credit check and no hassles at Mr. Steve's, where it's always easy to rent to own.
Rent to own, everything for the home. Bring it on home. Bring it home. Mr. Steve's.
There's always a great selection at Mr. Steve's.
Portions of Lafayette Live are sponsored by the Bob Rohrman Auto Dealerships and by Trader Horn Boot Center.
Congress is on its Christmas break, But after the first of the year, it's back to work for lawmakers. Joining us today with some insights on what's ahead for legislators is 5th District Congressman Jim Jontz. Welcome. Welcome to Lafayette.
The pleasure's mine.
Let me ask you about things. It's sure going to be somewhat different in Washington. There's going to be a new administration in there, maybe not as different as it might have been, or as some of the Democrats, as yourself, may have hoped. But what's on the horizon for us?
Well, I think the biggest issue we have to deal with in 1989 is definitely the budget deficit. And I hope that President-elect Bush and the leaders of Congress can get heads together quickly in 1989 and reach some agreement about the deficit reduction that we need to have, and get that issue at least partly out of the way so we can get on with the other business that faces the Congress.
What's likely to happen? We heard George Bush say in the campaign, no new taxes, and certainly spending is going to be just as sensitive as it has been for the last how many years. Every item is probably going to be as sensitive to cuts, so what can really happen?
Well, I think it is possible to reach our deficit reduction goals without a tax increase. Right now, the ball is in George Bush's court, and he will be submitting a budget to the Congress, and I hope it is a budget that we can run with. And I don't think there's much enthusiasm for big cuts in domestic programs, certainly not cuts in Social Security, but we know that some cuts have to be made in some places, and hopefully we can get that done and get the deficit reduction accomplished without tax increase.
Where do you see those cuts coming from then?
Well, there's a lot of talk about cuts in agriculture, which of course is a concern to me coming from a rural district. I think we can get along with a little less spending in the farm area. I think there will also be some cuts in defense. The budget in that area has been pretty stable, and I think that there are some places where we can get more defense for a dollar's worth of defense spending, and I wouldn't be surprised if the final version of the budget does include some cuts in that area.
Well, speaking of agriculture, we're going to need a new farm bill. What do you foresee in that?
Well, I do anticipate being very busy this next year as a member of the House Agriculture Committee working on the new farm bill. Actually, the legislation probably won't be written until 1990, but we have a lot of work to do in getting a good sense of how we can maintain farm income and at the same time reduce expenditures of the government. The real key is to get some agreements on a world basis to get supply and demand of agricultural products in better balance, whether that's accomplished through the GATT talks or some other way, and get world prices up so that our government and other governments don't have to spend so much to maintain a fair income to the farmer.
Let's talk a bit about the Jim Jontz role in Congress. Another 2 weeks and you won't be a rookie anymore. You'll be heading into your second term. You mentioned being on the Agriculture Committee. What else do you see for yourself?
I anticipate keeping the other committee assignments I now have, also on the Education Committee, on the Veterans Committee, and then on the Select Committee on Aging. Those are very important committees to the 5th Congressional District, and I will be busy on each of them. One concern of many families, certainly a concern here in Tippecanoe County, is the cost of higher education and what we can do to help families afford higher education. And I anticipate working as a member of the Education Committee this next year on some changes in the Guaranteed Student Loan Program and perhaps some of the other higher education assistance programs to make the dollars we have available go further and hopefully to help more families and make sure that all the young people of our country who desire a higher education have a fair opportunity.
The Democrats are going to need a candidate for the U.S. Senate in another year or so, and your name has come up in speculation. Let's hear your side. What's the story?
My hope is that Lee Hamilton, my colleague from Southern Indiana, will be that candidate. He is the senior member of our delegation and has a certain national stature, and I'm hopeful that Lee will run. If Lee doesn't run, I'm going to look at it. We need a good candidate in 1990. I think it's a winnable race. My own preference would be to continue representing the 5th District in Congress. I really like the job and I really like the 5th District, and I hope to stay there, but I would look at that possibility of running for the Senate if Lee Hamilton or some other outstanding candidate doesn't come forward.
What would it take for you, given Hamilton's decision not to run, what would it take for Jim Jontz to do that?
Well, it's a pretty big task. Whoever decides to run should be started by this summer, and covering the entire state of Indiana is a lot of shoe leather. And I know about shoe leather, but I'm not sure that I really comprehend how big the state is. I would like to spend the next couple of years continuing my work in the House and learning issues and getting around the 5th District like I have, and that's what I want to do. And my hope is that Lee Hamilton or some other good candidate will come forward, and I think that they will.
Congressman Jim Jontz, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
be right back.
Ho, 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 what do you know? We got more cars than we ever had before.
Santa Bob is back with over 1,000 gift-wrapped goodies like Toyota, Honda, Lincoln, Mercury, and Subaru, Jeep, Eagle, and now add Mitsubishi.
We got brand new 88s and 89s, used cars, trucks, and vans, and holiday lions or bears for all you good little car buyers.
Along with huge rebates and low financing. See Santa Bob at any of the 5 showrooms of the Bob Rohrman dealerships. One of these goodies has got your name all over it.
It's holiday time at old Santa Bob's. Woohoo, that's a really nice.
For reliable service and quality pictures in a hurry, go to A1 Hour Photo. A1 is more than just photo processing. We do everything from print enlargements to business cards. And when looking for that special gift, let A1 add a favorite picture to a button, keychain, or mirror. You'll be impressed with our many background ideas for your special portraits. A1 has professional photographers to preserve your wedding, class reunion, or other special occasions. When pictures are important, come to the experts at A1 Hour Photo.
Get set for big-time college basketball as the Purdue Boilermakers venture to the University of Oregon for a court battle with the Ducks. Coach Katie's club is looking for their 3rd consecutive win following impressive victories over Utah and Wichita State. The Boilers and the Ducks will square off this Friday night at 10:30, and TV18 is geared to bring you the entire contest from the opening tip to the final tick. Only one question remains.
If you're planning your New Year's party already and haven't quite decided on a centerpiece, we may have an idea for you. In today's food report, we'll show you how to put together an edible centerpiece.
Now, Mary, we're really down to it. You've got this special dinner party tonight. You got your friends coming over, your boss is coming over, and you want to do something special. You've seen that he's had party platters, shrimp party platters before at his house, but you want to do something just a little bit better to show him how creative you are.
So how creative can we be?
Mary, you can be as creative as you want with this project. In fact, I'm going to let you be real creative with this.
Okay.
If you'd like to help me out here, you can take your standard styrofoam cone. It can be any size you want. And you just attach either lettuce, a leaf lettuce, a kale, or an endive, and give it a green background.
So it's just basically to make a tree.
Just to cover that up. And then along the way, you'll take tomatoes and put them in here.
Okay.
You could take some fresh pineapple cubes we have here. And
make a little star.
Yeah, make a little star there. And then you might want to add shrimp to it. And breaking this off maybe to put the toothpick into the shrimp and then place the shrimp in the tree. Now, through the miracle of television, I could be very creative, but
I don't have an engineering degree.
Oh, no, but through the miracle of television, we have right before your eyes one of our completed projects right here. And on this side, we've added just shrimp and put it around a little bit with some crab claws on the bottom. And on this side, you can see that we really got creative. And we put some cherry tomatoes in there, added a little bit of fresh pineapple cubes, and certainly the shrimp from our shrimp platters we put right in there. And it individualizes it for your dinner guests because you want your dinner party to be as special as your guests.
Hyperactivity is one of the most misunderstood illnesses in modern times. On today's 60-second house call, Dr. Bob Lanier offers a little quiz to shed some light on this long, puzzling problem.
Here's a little medical quiz for you on behavioral disorders, true or false. Behavioral disorders are the parents' fault for not raising the child correctly. Answer, well, false, of course. Environment certainly plays a role, and the events of the first 2 or 3 years of life are crucial to the child's attitude and values, but there's definitely more to it than that. Next question. Disruptive children in the classroom should be required to take medications or be dismissed. Well, false, of course, but on the other hand, what are the rights of the other 20 to 25 children in that classroom? Next question. Some learning disabilities, especially so-called attention deficit disorder, may reflect a deficiency of some important brain chemicals. Answer? Well, true. In fact, in the research laboratory, blood and spinal fluid tests can diagnose the problem. Now, the topic of attention deficit disorder and its treatment is a hot one. If you want more information, write me in care of the station and tell me if you're a teacher because I've got a special handout for you. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier.
If you would like more information on hyperactivity, send a stamped self-addressed envelope to the Public Relations Department at Home Hospital, 2400 South Street, Lafayette, 47904. Today's 60-second house call was sponsored by Home Hospital.
Well, some members of our community received their Christmas dinner today. That story when Lafayette Live continues.
And we'll hear the sounds of Christmas. Stay with us.
Touching is the way we show how much we care. But the touch of a friend may not always come by hand. It's the things we say, the things we do, the special ways we care for you. Home Hospital, at the heart of healthcare.
Do you look your best all the time? Do you project authority and confidence in a business suit? Do you have the right thing to wear for any occasion all year round? If even one of your answers does not please you, Color Me a Season and our image improvement system is for you. This is about using color to enhance your looks and your life. This is a total system. It's easy to use and it works. When you put it to work for you, you'll look great and you'll feel great too. Color Me a Season exclusively at the Ultimate Appearance Company.
This Sunday afternoon at 12:30, TV18 has a special holiday treat for the whole family. An encore presentation of the 1988 Lafayette Christmas Parade. There will be beautiful floats, marching bands, classic cars, snow princes and princesses, and that jolly old elf himself. Join Mary Mysliwiec and Kevin Dorr for all the color and pageantry of the Lafayette Christmas Parade on Christmas Day at 12:30 here on TV18.
It was an early start today for the workers at a Lafayette soup kitchen as another special holiday meal was distributed to the needy. Bill Cochran reports.
What do you do for three? These just three little ones?
There was a line outside the door at 6 this morning for a sack full of food distributed by the volunteers at the soup kitchen at St. Anne Catholic Church. This special holiday meal, including ham, baked beans, potato salad, bread, and a cake, is divided into portions depending upon the number of people in the family receiving the food.
Larry's tasting them. Good.
And if it weren't for the many special donations from stores or from individuals, the special holiday meals at Thanksgiving and Christmas wouldn't be possible.
Hams have been donated. People, sometimes farmers or individuals, bring in potatoes or onions and vegetables that we can use. They donate baked beans. We give out potato salad, baked beans, and the ham. People donate hams at Christmas time and turkeys at Thanksgiving, and they donate baked beans and things like anything we use here. Most of it is through donations. People donate money, and then we're able to buy the things that are not donated that we need.
And if there is a downside to all of this, the people at the soup kitchen say the need for their help appears to be growing. Bill Cochran, TV18 News.
But that's certainly a great group of people providing the help down there.
That's
They've
right.
been doing it for several years now. Well, that's our report for this noon hour. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll go out to the mall and find out about those last-minute Christmas shoppers and what they're looking for.
Are you done with your gifts? We might see him out later tonight.
I'll do that story.
And I'll continue my report on breast cancer with a look at the treatment.
Those stories and more tonight at 6.
And we'd like to take this time to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. And if you're driving somewhere, please drive carefully.
And we'll leave you on this Friday before Christmas with The Sounds of the Season, as sung by the St. Thomas Boys Choir of New York. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye-bye.